Hi, I'm Blythe Stevens, MFA, Bliss Catalyst, and creator of A Blythe Coach, where I help multi-passionate creatives take leaps of faith. And in this season, do quite a lot of teaching of ballet, dance, movement, and joyful living. So coaching and teaching artisting. And so, as far as sharing content, some is for me as far as memory keeping and recording process, and for any who are interested. And then some is tutorial style teaching, supplements to classes and things like that. Today, I am doing a currently inked, since I've just re-inked or inked up some of my pens and have been doing a lot of writing and will be doing a lot of writing as part of my teaching and creative practices this autumn. It's a Sunday in the midst of cozy season, October. So I've got a delicious chai with me with a splash of milk, and the cat will be cruising in and out. She is seeking heat on the radiators and in our laps, so I'm not too much of interest, but she might make an appearance. Always with me is my trusted Elsta, a all black Lamy All-Star. And I put an extra fine blacked out nib on it. It came with a medium. And how many pens do I really have in use right now? I think 16. So this little pre-plan is a bit wrong, but it's okay. We're gonna forge ahead. That's why we got our handy dandy eraser at the ready. And we also see here a number of notebooks that I have in current use. So it's like I'm gonna do a little, it's not like I'm going to, I am gonna do a little swatching, a little testing of these colors. I know how this color is going to look. It's always reliable. I say that and it skips, but that's okay. And still the Lamy aluminum. Oh, stop. Extra fine, still juicy. Always. It is always octopus fluids document. It is a very black. It is document, which means it's an archival ink, waterproof, very great for envelopes and for daily notes. Never have to worry about it getting wet. And it is very dark as well, which I love. This is a grid Rhodia pad, which I'm using for morning pages. Loving it for that. Very fountain pen friendly. And it's my first one, and I already really am enjoying it. So that's promising. I also tend to do color lineup play on this Rhodia dot pad with the tear off pages. I am not going to create beautiful artistic handwriting here. That would not be consistent with my usual practice anyway. The words are what are important. Sometimes I give it a little bit more finessing. And then my latest seasonal book. I love that crepe paper too. Looks mighty nice. There are many things not going well in the world from my perspective. I mean, in my life, things are well in my direct vicinity, but things are disturbing to me in the news in many ways. But some bright lights are creative practice, getting to dance and teach as much as I am fortunate to do, and to promote and enjoy personal expression and freedom of movement around the world, but also to dance, to live my life in the way that I see fit. This is currently getting crazy. Autumn. This is my one Fude nib pen, Mamba, the Hongdian, and so it makes good headings on sketches and things. Still pretty new to me. By the way, this video comes around the time of my 1-year anniversary, even being a fountain pen enthusiast, collector, user, ink enthusiast. So that's fun. I've learned a lot. And there's a lot to learn still, but right now it serves my purposes. This particular selection of pens suits all of my needs, all the colors I'd like to have access to. Speaking of which, that could be the next color, I guess. We could do number 2. Mamba, like black mamba. Dungeon black forest. Food. Depending on the angle, wider, narrower, and Caveco Smoky Cave. Yeah, we don't need to draw or anything. We're just getting a sense of the color palette, the ink assortment. I've gone a little bit with the season, but I find I also like a few bright colors and fun colors and sort of pastels and things in the mix, sort of at all times, to lighten the mood, lift the mood too. So it's more, autumnal sort of moody colors, as well as others that we'll see. I think Smoky might have an E in it, but we're good. Just looking at the color. I do actually write a lot in my morning pages and notes in more of a very lazy shorthand. So I'll skip add or skip letters. Let's do the other gray I've got going on right now. As the next, we move into this cigar case of pocket pens. I've got 2 right now. The Caveco All Sport aluminum stone washed, named Stony for stone washed, and the Pilot Elite vintage script nib pen that has a brown in it. So we can go to browns next. Yes, why not? See, it's as if I had a plan, only sort of dead. Smoky Caveco. It's a German pen, but I'm still not sure. It's a little pocket pen, all sport, but a double broad nib with Robert Oster, summer storm. Like I said, the other gray, but a purpley, bluey toned gray that I got a sample of originally and I loved it so much. I went ahead and bought a bottle. Same with the smoky gray. I think I had samples and then bought a bottle that was the first bottle I ever bought. I researched and then bought that with my original pen, haha, which was going to be the one pen. Elster was going to be the one pen that I use. And then, as they say, I caught the bug. And yeah, I did hope to replace, this needs a specific angle, I did hope to replace like fine liners and ballpoint pens that I was going through like crazy doing morning pages and sort of all the disposable pens that were in my life. And I've pretty much done that, but then I've also become into it. We've got Stelly, the Brad with Robert Oster. I love the shading in Robert Oster inks. Unfortunately, I've found so far that the glitter might be a little bit too big and it's gotten clogged in some pens. But Summer Storm does not have any shimmer in it, so it's not a problem here. I've had Summer Storm in there all summer and maybe longer, and it just seems to really suit fall too. The storminess, the grayness. We've had sort of on again, stormy, cooler weather and then sort of summery, warmer weather, but now the leaves are truly changing. And it really suits the color palette, in my opinion. But I'm not gonna probably greatly, quickly expand my ink collection or do a lot more content as far as swatching and inks and things, but I do like to show the materials that I'm using, and for my, at least I'm interested in the future to see what I was using and enjoying to create. I never thought I would be a brown lover, but here we are, because thanks to the YouTube fountain pen enthusiasts, this pen's name is Licorice, and it is a pilot. It was a gift, a pilot Elite. The new version is the E95S. It has a beautiful gold nib, the finest nib that I own. It's called a script nib, I guess. And it has Ferris wheel. Ferris, the longest name of an ink I think I have so far. Beaver. Dam. Brown. Actually, love it. Makes me think of Oregon, Portland, and the Columbia River and the forest. And it is sort of a purpley, winey brown that I've just fallen in love with, as they say. Licorice. It's great for working in smaller grids and always writes beautifully smooth. The sensation of writing with this nib is absolutely lovely. I understand the hype behind gold nibs. It is splendid. Yeah, I had a sample and it was very pleasing to me, as the next one is as well. So here we are in a bottle. I have a variety now of nib widths that I tend to use for different sorts of things, but also just fun to experiment. Fun for sketching and writing in different smaller books, larger books. This looks like a licorice, in case you didn't, to me. Like a licorice stick. Yeah, what can I say? People who love pens and inks will get it, people who don't won't, and that's all right. Most of my content has to do with dancing, mindful movement, and creative living, and for me, one of my hobbies, one of the ways I live creatively is through writing. Been inspired by journaling practice, as well as that being sparked by learning about the bullet journal method by writer Carol, and practicing morning pages from Julia Cameron. And Julia Cameron's concept also of indulging, encouraging, providing material for your artist child to play, being a wonderful way to unblock and free and empower the creative process. So this is called, oh, it's a Kaweco. Student, which by student in German they do mean in a university. So it's not an elementary pen. It is for a lot of writing. This is a bold though, and so it's in the brown is jazz, the jazz era for them. So I named it Jazzy. Bold. Ferris wheel press. Oyster. Hour. A brown, gold, green. Depending on the paper and the nib and the lighting. Many factors. Absolutely beautiful writer. And one of my favorite things is this is not an ASMR channel, but this has a very satisfying twist on it. And goes in the brown category, I guess, but yeah, it gets into sort of yellowy, gray, beige. Looks sort of like dirty watercolor water. I like the idea that it's like an oyster shell, sort of iridescent in quality. Again, not the kind of color I would have ever predicted would become a passion, but here we are. Love the shading. And it suits really well, these two. Actually, everything so far really suit my color scheme of the year too, being sort of a golden roaring 20s scheme. Inspired by postcard. So from that, although it's sort of a goldy yellowy sort of situation, let's move, I guess, into the red sort of region. I'm not sure if this guy is fully loaded yet, but let's find out. I just put the cartridge in today. It was being a little testy with the color or the ink I had in there previously. So we'll see how it goes. But these two are a very reliable, wonderful, trusty writers. So shouldn't have any problems there. It is Viola, the Lamy All-Star. This one does have a medium. I wanted to see how this ink looked like with a medium nib. Previously, I've had a beautiful violet document ink in here with an extra fine. But now, her name is Rar and Kling. Now, as Bordeaux, like the Y. Getting crowded. Formatting's not my specialty. Good thing I haven't advertised that. Very nice. Yeah, so we got, let's see, do we got? Not yet. Okay, that's all right. We'll include that in the future one. It's all loaded. This is a Kaweco Percale. Very, very inexpensive pen. I love the demonstrator nature of it, but the fine nib has not been working out as well or as consistently well. Some inks, yeah, it works well, but some not, as the medium nib. So this is not a great transition color wise, but there you go. It's Blossom, which I've also named Peony. It's Peony Blossom is the colorway of this medium Kaweco Percale, which is sort of a carryover from spring, but will probably stay with me all year. It's so suitable to ballet and is a color that really pleases me personally because it is Pelican Edelstein Rose Quartz, one of my favorite crystals, and the shading here is like a pink, purple, blue, very complex pink, I find. My eyes show it that way, and it really pleases me greatly. So probably going to keep it inked like that, but I do try out from time to time other pinks in here. I do a matchy thing. Oh, there's a fly in the house. Edelstein. Rose or rosé. So pretty. It's just so pretty. But I was thinking the next color will be another Aurora und Klingner, but a very different direction, shall we say. Yeah, the pink is a little bit of an outlier, but that's what you get. I like having a variety of colors available. And we see that is certainly true with this one. It is. Also gift my beautiful Benu Briolette fine nib Letty. fine. Soul. Very no. Love this pen so much. And this color is fuchsia, magenta, bright, bold. Makes me very, very happy, as do the sparkles and this magical wand. Yeah, it is as simple as that. And also the sensation, the experience of using it, holding it, the sound of it. See, there's my fly. Get out of here, I do not like you. So there is a sweet spot a little bit though, to be fair. When I find it, it is so good. At the wrong angle, it is also not the best. 1, 2, 3, very, very inky probably. Betty, Betty, and the Jets. I saw this, well, most of these inks first online, people swatching them, and so I knew I would probably like them, but would give them a try. This is one I saw over and over and thought, wow, I want that, and I've been writing a lot with it. Being very delighted. Would recommend if you are into that kind of thing. The pen, the ink, just such a special pen. I keep it in its own case so it doesn't get damaged by any other pens, although this case is also very nice and protective that Kayla made for me. Another demonstrator, Vita, the Lamy Vista. Vita, lovely Vita, Vita main. Vista, Asta, La Vista. This is one that did get clogged with shimmer particles earlier, but has been doing well with standard inks recently, especially with this medium nib, but still, as we see, still is a little touchy. Maybe needs further cleaning out. I don't know. Professional. Let me know what you think. But another favorite ink. This is Diamine. It's originally a Diamine has an annual advent calendar. One run of those, but they made full bottles. Jacaranda or Yacaranda. A beautiful purple. Also more on the spring side, probably summer side. But we know I love spring and summer. And I love a light purple that is actually pretty legible. Yeah, I might put a different color in this. That's a nice thing about these. I don't feel the need to match any particular color to it because it is clear. Yeah, that is very pleasing for me to see these inks go down on the page. It is really a fun part of my planning and journaling process now. Very motivating, a little extra sort of a treat, a bonus that I have every time I come to my notebooks. This is a new edition. It is another Lamy All-Star. What can I say? I bought it back to school. I've been eyeing it for a while. It's one of the special editions this year, aubergine. It's supposed to be like an eggplant purple. metallic-y neon yellow. It has a neon yellow demonstrator grip section that I think looks incredible with this particular shade of purple somehow, which probably won't be captured on camera. It is, along with the next pen, which has this dark blue. They are like a dusky, deep dusk, I think is that name, and this one is aubergine, like I said, but I thought I would name it Dawn. So they're Dawn and Dusk. As we see, I really have found Lamy, a German company that manufactures here and has very high quality standards, I found. I found them to be very beautiful, reliable. Star, a sport, we get the idea. Oh, come honey. So with this ink, it's a new pen, like I said, it's, hey, so I guess we should do some more erasing, but here we have another diamine color. Interesting fact about me, maybe interesting. I love purple, like my tutu did. Mostly like lavendery, lilac-y, light purples, but also some dark royal purples. I found with inks, I'm picky though with purple shades. That jacaranda there pleases me, but then I was having a hard time actually finding a dark purple that I love. I like Cavico Summer Purple pretty well, but I eventually found that diamine. Amazing. Amethyst is a really nice one. Suits my personal taste. So really fun because it came in a giant, at least compared to most ink bottles, a giant 80 milliliter bottle. I thought, what the heck, I love purple, and this will be probably a long time investment. Amethyst, along with rose quartz, is one of my favorite crystals. And this one captures sort of the dark moodiness, I think, of that stone. It's sort of a wild but kind of a fun, modern looking pen, and very tough. This model is a great daily carry. I found taking it to different studios and schools and locations. So pretty, pleases me so much. That's what we're here for. Shall I go backwards? Ah, come, let's get crazy. And show one of my new favorites. As we said, this one is Dusk. So dusky. The medium nib that it came with is showcasing this. Also diamine with a little bottle. I also had a hard time incidentally finding blues that I love, so I went with a deep ocean blue, actually Sargasso Sea to be precise. It is a real deep, like the deep, deep ocean. Also, I think of it off of the Big Island, off of Hawaii. The ocean gets very deep, very fast. And so I like blues that evoke that, as well as we will see in the next one, as well as the shallows where there's maybe sand or coral. not all-star, it's a safari plastic one. But this plastic, it feels plasticky, yeah, because it's plastic, but it's the same plastic that goes into Legos and things, and it is also incredibly tough and suitable for everyday carry and lightweight. Yes, so I'm having fun with that too. It has a real smooth feel. The pen and the ink, this combination. Yum, yum, yummy. How did this happen? You know, I loved that other student so much. I got this demonstrator one, which is a gorgeous, my favorite maybe demonstrator that I have seen, that I have. It is also very lovely to touch to use. Sometimes the ink needs a little sloshy slosh, but then it gets sloshing around in there, and it's so pretty. With this demonstrator, I named Demi. Kavico. Student, also broad, because oh, do they show the shading of the ink so nice? This one being another, oh yeah, rubber and cleaner, special edition, blue eyed Mary. Because of that, you couldn't really get samples of it, but I saw enough people sampling it online that I went ahead and got a bottle because I knew I would like it, and I do. I really do. It's like a teal, turquoisey, tealy. Love a dot grid to keep me more or less on a level, but not detract from the writing. I am liking the grid okay too, but prefer that when I can have it, which does, please go away, fly, which does bring us to the light blue I was speaking of, which was, other than the Vista, the clear demonstrator Safari was my first Safari pen, and I just really think that this Robin's Eggy turquoise blue, especially with the blue clip, is so cute and pretty. Like blues, it's a sky blue, and so its name is Sky Lar. The ink doesn't perfectly match it, but it is a light blue as well. Skylar has medium on it. And another Robert Osta. The same way this pink has purple and blue in it, I find that this blue has pink and purple in it. Definitely what is it called? Shading, but color changing shading. The color being named Wind, also great for the season, although I loved it in spring and summer too. I super dig this color, kind of a baby bluish, but also moody and complex. Depends on the paper and the nib, the pen, the feed, all the things. Like the idea of the association with elements, and such a cute, pretty, very reliable so far pen. And these two are awfully cute together too. It pleases me. Hate to be materialistic, but on the other hand, I love to enjoy creating with analog, with materials, with things. things and also stuff. It's okay. There's only one true green in the current collection. This pen also sometimes acts up, hairy, like haricot, like a green bean. Has a fine nib and is sporting octopus fluids. Not a document, just a standard moss green, moss green. Like I said, I think I prefer the medium, or at least the ones I've gotten, the medium of this Caleco Perkeo. This is like a jungle grain or something like that is the name of it. It makes sort of an annoying squeaking sound sometimes writing with it. Writes nice and fine, writes pretty reliably, but some sort of is leaking, seeping out between the feet and the nib. Don't know what that's about. This octopus I really like though. I like how it can be dark or light or shady or different ways depending on, again, the paper, the nib, the pen. It writes nicely in a small grid. What does that sound? It was very affordable. It works, but the writing experience is leaving something to be desired. This is a Parker 90s, I guess medium. The nib is very coolly built in here. It's a Les pen, so I don't really know too much about it. But since it has a volcano and fire scene, I named it Pele. And I'm super glad to get to use it with Lamy Mango. Definitely an orange, but with yellow and red, which also Robert Ostow Fire, which I had in here, another element related one. Also was sort of like an orangey reddy yellow, which again, orange, red, yellow, not my most favoriteest color family of them all, but very cool when the shading sort of moves between the various colors. I love that. This color is sometimes a bit light to read, not so legible. Mostly legible, can we say, especially in this sort of whiter, juicier nib. Kind of mostly legible. But yeah, depending on your eyesight or the lighting, could be better or worse indicated. I find also in the summer when I've got a lot of good lighting, it's no big issue, but in the winter when I'm using artificial lighting more, it gets tricky with the light colors. This as a color I use more so for titles and accents and not really for big blocks of text, but I do go through it. I like it a lot, and so I do go through it. I use it for that. Lummy. It was a special edition. I could not get a sample, but I bought a bottle, and it suits that yellow orange. Ticks that box really nicely, and I think matches this pen also really well. Coordinates. Mango. Makes me think of dried mango. Another color that reminiscent of home, of very lovely for summer months, but also like a warm fire and candlelight and things in the winter. Let's take another quick look at, I guess, all of the pens that I have currently in use. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16. Okay, yeah, 16 like I had originally thought. Different widths and colors, some really fall and moody, some bright and happy and sunny on some of the different papers that I'm using most often. This little pad that's mostly for letters and to play and to sort of try out. Oh, I've also been swatching some highlighters with some students of mine. This, as mentioned, is my current quarterly seasonal book. So that's how I'll be looking at them most of the time, how they'll be appearing, along with this one, my Morning Pages book. I get to see a lot of my writing in there since I write 3 daily pages. And this is more of a sketchbook and play area and record. One part currently inked and one part sketching and drawing. So that's my currently inked for the autumn, the fall of 2025. I hope you're having a creative time this fall. I'd be curious what you're writing with, what you are writing, what you are creating, and how I can support you in continuing to do that. I hope you've been enjoying swatching or creating with me in spirit, or in fact, that you take good care, pay attention. Until next time.